Hey everyone, welcome back to Brown Coat Nerd, where we do not iron our Alpenflage. Sorry for the wrinkles, but as you can see, the Alpenflage is out. So obviously that means we're reviewing our American-made Austrian gun, which has nothing to do with Germany or Switzerland. Okay, anywho, it's all the same area, right? Today we're going to be going over our Glock 43 upgrades, part 1. This will be my first part. We're going to be talking about the Streamlight TLR-6. I will have some follow-up videos on this as well, trying out some different mags, mag extensions. I've got an inside the waistband holster I've been using. Still need to get some freaking sights for this so I can do a review on that. But we'll have a few more upgrade videos coming along. This is the first upgrade I did to this gun. As a matter of fact, I threw this on there before I even shot the gun. I've never had a laser on any of my guns, so I was a little anxious to try it out and see how it went. First of all, it's Streamlight. They've got a pretty good reputation. So that was encouraging for me to get one of these. Also, the price point, like, it's a really good freaking price point. I think I got this around 80 bucks. I think I even may have got it off of Amazon. And at that price, I'm really just excited that the dang thing works and stayed on the gun and didn't fall off. So what we have here, in case you guys do not know what a TLR-6 is, this particular one is a flashlight and laser combo. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I did come across one of these, and I think it was like 60 bucks, not a lot cheaper, but a little bit cheaper. And I realized it's just the flashlight, but the housing looked the same. So if you're in the market to get one of these, just be mindful and make sure it does actually say flashlight and laser if that's what you're wanting to get. I mean, getting both of them together is not much more, and it's the same size. So I don't see why you want it, but apparently they do make a flashlight-only version out there. Also, this particular one, obviously, is for the Glock 43. They do make these for several other small guns that do not have rails on the underside to do this little clamshell attachment. Now, obviously, like I was saying, this gun did not have a rail underneath it. It was just completely smooth, which aesthetically I think is fine, especially for these smaller carry guns. Most people don't tend to not attach lights. So a small gun like this not having a rail on the dust cover for me is no big deal. I originally wasn't going to get anything like this, but then I did see these, saw the reviews were pretty decent. And once again, at 80 bucks, you're not really investing that much money. So how this attaches is you've got 3 screws here, and basically this outer shell is just a clamshell, and then the light and the laser are just kind of little innards that flop around in there. And basically you just clamp her on, get these screws nice and tight. Now, I was very careful when I was putting these screws on not to over torque them. I wanted to get them on there good and tight, but I didn't want to strip out the head of any of the screws just in case I wanted to remove it. And I can't even tell which one it is, but I totally stripped out one of the heads on these. Luckily, it's good and tight, and I was being cautiously aware, like, okay, don't strip this out, Ryan. And I still managed to do it. I didn't put a whole lot of force behind it. So that puppy, what in the heck is that? Is definitely staying on there. Do I already have a nick in my finish? And it's kind of smearing. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. Saw a little blop on there. Okay. So it goes on pretty easily. You know, like I said, clamshell, 3 different screws. They do make these for other guns. You will have to get the one specifically for your gun, because these little housings here obviously are different per gun. Not just in shape, which I thought this was pretty neat, but also in the type of finish that the plastic is. Now you can see obviously it's not a perfect match, but it's pretty fracking close, if I'm going to be honest. Like I think it's the one for the what is it, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus or whatever. I think those guns have more of a smooth finish, and they did the same kind of smooth finish on the housing for those. So I think that's really cool that Streamlight actually kind of thought ahead. Very small, very minor touch, but it is something that they offer to kind of help match the gun a little bit more. And I have also seen some of these out there in flat, dark earth, which for a second I thought about getting it just because I'm pretty sure the button is still black, and in my head I'm thinking it'll make the button easier to see, but honestly it looked kind of goofy, and I just ultimately decided to go with the black here. Now, if you need to change out the batteries, and if you get one of these, you will need to change out the batteries because the battery life sucks. You do not have to take it apart. You just pop this little cover here off, and there's your battery. And I do believe these are some kind of a Streamlight proprietary battery, or if it's not proprietary, they're not the most common. So you're probably going to have to order it straight from Streamlight, but whatever. So the battery life on these, with just the laser, it's 10 hours. I can live with that. With just the light, it's 1 hour, which is not very long, especially considering the light's only 100 lumens. And then, of course, with the laser and light, it's still rated at just the 1 hour. So the light definitely sucks down that the battery power of that. Ever since I ordered this, I'm meaning to get another battery. I'll probably just go ahead and order like 2 or 3, just so I have several on hand. Don't want to order too many and have them start getting corrody before I even get around to using them. But I haven't noticed the light get any dimmer from what it was when I first got it. Like I said, I've been taking this out to the range quite a bit. I haven't been using the light that much, mainly just trying to prolong that battery life, but I have been using the laser quite a bit just because it's new to me. I'm definitely taking some kind of adjustments to get used to that. It's just weird not looking down the sights to me and just going off of that laser. So I've got, let's see, I don't have a whole bunch of rounds to this. I've got right around, I think, 300, a little more than 300 rounds through this. And like I've said, I've had this on there from the get-go. The first time I took it out using the laser, I've never used a laser, so it's very foreign to me. It's just weird as hell not looking down the sights. And it wasn't necessarily super accurate. I feel like sometimes it'd be like, yeah, that bullet landed right where the laser was at when I pulled the trigger. And other times I'm like, oh, where the hell? Definitely noticed improvements with that the more I've gone out to shoot it. One, I'm sure it's just getting used to using the laser and not the iron sights. Also, I think my grip, I wasn't really concentrating that much on my grip. I think just simply because I wasn't looking down the iron sights. That's kind of, everything is like connected in the specific steps, I think, in my brain, the way it's wired. And so I kind of started to pay a little more attention to my grip. Definitely noticed the accuracy increase with just using the laser on there. And then I remember the last time I went out, I felt pretty darn confident with aiming with the laser. Now, one thing I did notice the last 2 times I took it out, I was getting good groups with them finally, but the laser was just like a hair, or excuse me, I was landing targets just a hair to the left. Now, the first time I took it out, I felt like it was fairly well zeroed, but like I said, I mean, I kind of had flyers all over the place. And so I don't know if the zeroing on this kind of has come off zero from shooting it, or if simply it stayed true to where it was zeroed, but I'm just getting better, and therefore I can kind of see how it's not perfectly lined up, so I might need to do a little adjustment. So I'm going to kind of adjust it to fix the windage on that. I'm curious what I'll find the next time I take it out. But to adjust it, that too is fairly simple. I forget which one is which, but one is windage, one is elevation. You got a little screw here, and a little screw on the bottom. And it's just that easy. So the biggest complaint you will see on this gun is that the light is not bright, and that's true. The other part that kind of affects this is the beam that it shines out. It's kind of a concentrated beam. Like I've seen some people say they don't even think it's 100 lumens. And when I shine the light on something, I think absolutely it is 100 lumens within that small circle in the very center of the beam. The light does kind of spread out some, but I feel like it's just very concentrated, you know, in the heart of the beam. And then the brightness of the light fades out very quickly out from that. So they could do improvements on that. I don't know if there's some kind of lens maybe they could throw on there to kind of scatter that light more. But once again, for $80, guys, honestly, I cannot complain. I'm still kind of surprised, even with the not greatest flashlight on there, even with the crappy battery life, and it is a Streamline. Like, I'm surprised that they're only $80, and I'm very happy with that. So typically when I carry this on me, I do have it set up where it is the... Okay, through the camera lens, I'm not seeing the laser, but with my naked eye, I can. It's right there. This gun has been safety checked. God, I hate the Glock mag releases, or slide releases. Oh, we saw the beam there for a second. Anyhow, there is a light and a laser beam shining. There we go. So whenever I carry this, that's how I carry it, with the flashlight and the laser both on. Thank God I've never had to draw it out or anything like that. Taking it to the range, I just shoot with the laser mostly to conserve the battery life. And like I said, I haven't noticed any kind of dimness in the light or laser yet. This does not add a whole bunch of bulk to the gun. Ever since I got this, I was surprised at just how freaking easy it is to pocket carry this guy. And so I have been pocket carrying. I did find a nice loose holster, which we'll be doing a review on later on as well, that accommodates this. And really, I've been using that pocket holster almost 100% purely just that, rather than my inside the waistband holster. This guy is so freaking small. Even with my Alpenflage shorts, I can drop this down in my pocket, even with a Mag Guts +2 extension on there, and it really does not imprint at all. So I really love this, and that's with this laser light combo on here. Another thing, if you are pocket carrying and you're concerned about imprinting, I almost feel like adding this on there makes it less obvious that it is a gun. It kind of gives it more of a bulk figure. I mean, obviously you got the grip sticking off, but you don't have that slim, you know, just barrel and slide. Like, I feel like walking around, people might almost mistake it for, you know, if they see me imprinting, might just think I have a large cell phone in my pocket or something. Insert or are you happy to see me joke here. So carrying really doesn't affect it at all. These are so popular, it was not hard at all for me to find a inside the waistband holster that will accommodate this. And it does it just fine, you know, has pretty good retention on it. I've got to say, highly, highly recommend, if you get a small conceal and carry gun, or even just a home defense gun, that does not have a rail on the bottom, but Streamlight makes one of these for your guns, I highly recommend getting one. Like, I really can't see a reason not to get it, especially at that price. So yeah, the light's not the brightest. You know, I can live with that. The beam does seem to be accurate, and it's adjustable, obviously. $80, I have to say full-heartedly, guys. TLR-6 is just a no-brainer. And these have been around for years, so most people are familiar with them. Do want to point out real quick, I guess I should go over the operation. You got this button. You have that on either side. And if you just hit it once, it will turn on your light or your laser, or however you have it set up. And then you hit it again, it will turn off. Or you can hold it and it will stay on, and then as soon as you release it, it will go off. I don't really see myself using that, you know, unless I'm maybe, you know, holding it with two hands and using my thumb. But if I'm going to use this, and that's one thing too that's kind of concerns me, is if in the heat of the moment I'm like, holy crap, I'm got to get mugged or whatever, and I pull this out, am I going to remember to hit that button? I'm going to be honest, probably not. My adrenaline's going to be going so freaking hardcore, and I'm going to be honest too, I don't train nearly as much as I probably should. Do as I say, not as I do. Probably not. So one of the things I've kind of have thought about is, like, I've really got to remember reaching into my hand, hitting that button. And so what I've done, or reaching into my pocket, hitting that button, not reaching into my hand. So what I've done is, even like when I'm taking this gun out, you know, after I've taken the doggo out for a walk or whatever, I kind of get into that instinct of when I reach my hand into the pocket, you know, slide my hand into the holster, and I just kind of get into the habit of resting my finger on that button. Hopefully, subconsciously, that will install something where I have a better chance of actually hitting that button if I should have to use it. The thing that scares me, and I want everyone to be kind of mindful of if you get one of these, don't get into a situation where, God forbid, you have to use it or pull it out or whatever, and you pull it out, you're like, oh shit, I forgot to turn the light or laser on, and then you're fumbling around. If you pull this out and you forgot, you forgot. Don't try to turn it on after you've pulled it out. You know, if it's not on when you've got it out of your holster or pocket or whatever, just forget about it. You ain't going to have a light or laser for this interaction. So that's one thing that kind of freaks me out, because I can see people like, you know, don't mug me. Oh shit, hold on, let me get my laser on. And then pop, pop, they're dead. That's no bueno. So just be mindful of that. This is definitely something you're going to want to train with, not just to get used to getting accurate with the laser, but turning it on. And also subconsciously getting in your head, if I didn't get to turn it on, just let that go. Don't mess with it. So real quick, getting distracted here, sorry. So hit it once, comes on, hit it again, turns off, or you can hold it. To cycle between the different modes, right now it's light and laser. You push both of the buttons on the side at the same time. And now we're just light. I know on the camera it looks like nothing changed. Hit it again, just laser. Hit it again, light and laser. It is right there. There is a laser. And like I said, that's how I keep it. So I have a friend of mine. He just got actually one of the Smith & Wesson, what is it, little pocket carry. It's about the same size as this, the Shield Plus or whatever. He did not get it in 30 super carry. He did just get it in 9. But I highly encouraged him to get one of these little light laser combos. And of course, you know, I let him look at my Glock and he handled it. And he was like sold immediately, especially once he heard, you know, how cheap it is. To me, it's really a no-brainer. So guys, Brown Coat Nerd, 2 thumbs up on the Streamlight TLR-6. It definitely does have its shortcomings. But you gotta remember that price point's kind of killer for this anyways. So that is it, guys. That's my 2 cents. Like I said, I will have some other upgrade videos on this. We'll have some on magazines and mag extensions very soon. Further down the road, we'll be doing holsters and sights and possibly even a trigger swap. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Stay safe and stay shiny.